here at the Internet of Things conference here in Amsterdam with Stefan Zimmermann from Comtac. Well, I'm really glad to have you here, Stefan. Welcome to the event.
Thank you very much, Alex. Yeah, to have the interview here with you, I'm really happy.
Well, we all talk about the Internet of Things and what it can bring to us and all the shiny, promise. But in reality, there's a lot of infrastructure that can be addressed with it. When you think about things like smart buildings or industrial management or even power monitoring, right?
Yes, you're absolutely at the thing. Yeah, it's a big. You hear it in the news every day. We have limited power resources, and we have really to think about it to get the most out of it and to manage it really that we have all the energy left.
Well, and that's the thing. It's a double-sided sword, right? You have to have more efficient systems and better power distribution, but you have to monitor it to make sure you're doing it right?
Yes, right. Yeah, you have to know where your energy flows in and to optimize it anyway. So you need data to make the right decision on that.
Now, I see you have a device here. Could you walk us through what you've got here? I see some loops and a box here. So explain your solution.
Yes, right. Yeah. So especially in the power field, in the power management field, we have a lot of power stations which are actually not monitored, but today. So the big ones, they are monitored, but the smaller ones not. And in terms of locally distributed energy with solar cells and stuff like that, it becomes a really challenge for the network that it still stays stable. And here we have these clever solutions. You can even add in existing power stations because it's very small. We detect the voltage, and we have up to 16 sensors where we can measure the current flowing out of the power stations.
Up to 16, so that you can actually do quite a comprehensive monitoring.
Yes, right, yeah. And the challenge here comes in with the LoRaWAN, because LoRaWAN is very clever, very energy efficient, but we have a limited bandwidth. And if you have so much data, you need to compress it in the right way and send it to the network. And that's where we came in with a clever solution. We have invested a lot in the firmware itself, to compress it the right way that you have the usage out of this small data.
Well, then, this is actually then a direct representation of what the people are talking about in edge computing and reducing the amount of bandwidth required to perform a sophisticated task.
Yes, it makes the solution really usable because you find a lot of devices just sending data really stupid, and it brings you not to the solution at the end because you need this knowledge about the application, what's important, which data you really need at the back end, and you need to bring in that in a clever device and then send it really energy efficient to the network.
Well, that's a very good point because it's not only about monitoring the energy well, it's about doing it in as efficient a manner as possible because you don't want to be a burden on the system you're monitoring, right?
Yes, absolutely right, yeah.
No, and so you've got smarts in here, you've got hardware in here to handle the intelligence. Are there any, do you know if there are any additional hardware requirements? Do you have specialty chips in there, or is it just you're putting in what you need to have to run the firmware to do the job?
Yes, so we have a simple microcontroller system in it. It's really energy efficient. And it's really, but it fits for the application exactly. So you get out of it what you need, yeah.
Now, are there other applications that this platform can be used for, or do you modify the platform for other application spaces?
So we have different products, even to monitor, for example, the water distribution network, power distribution network, heat systems, for example. We have a solution in Switzerland. We have up to 2,500 openings in one city for remote heating to monitor if there is a leakage in here.
Well, so now, let's say, for example, I have this integrated into my system. How much communications in between this device and my network do I need?
Yeah, so here comes the LoRaWAN in it, and we say typically you can have values every 15 minutes. And for that, you need to get out the right values because you need the calculation. You have the min value, the max value during that period, and the average for sure. And you need to calculate that in the device, send it to the backend, and then you can make the right decision if your network is stable, healthy, or you need to react on that.
Can you give me an example of, let's say, a typical user of this technology? Would you say it's more of a factory facility or more of a power distribution facility, or is it just one size fits all? It can handle any of those applications.
Yeah, it's sufficient for both, but more for the utilities, for the Stadtwerke, we say in German. They are the most customer for that, because we can't detect really slow, really less amperes. It starts from 200 amps and going up So if you have just a few milliamps, it makes no sense. It's too rough for that.
Well, but then again, also you'd use a different solution for that kind of thing. This is for a high power application. You need high power tools to measure those because if you can't handle the amperage levels, then it's not useful to the system. So yeah, I see what you're saying. Power generation, heavy factory, for example, could use it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, for that it's fine. Yeah.
So now, why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the other packages you have in the family? For other application spaces.
Yeah, we have a product family called Cluey because it's kind of a clue. It's an intelligent product family, and we invested a lot in the firmware. So you can over LoRaWAN downlink, you can in the field insert intelligence in the device and make the right setup for your application. For example, if you like to measure the energy, you like to have the reading from all your devices at the same time because you want to compare it. And if you have a jitter in the measurement of the data, you are not able really to compare it.
Right. Okay, then, so fine. What's next for Comtac? Are you going to be expanding the line or deepening the line, going for more applications, or serving the vertical more aggressively?
Yes, we make the product line more broader, more wider. We started with a few applications now and coming up with more in the future, absolutely, yeah.
Very cool. Do you have any final thoughts for our audience before we let you go back to this very exciting show?
Yeah, so we are happy to be part of this cool family here because we see a lot of people coming here back again. And we are really happy that the network is now coming more stable in the field, more professional, absolute. So the time from POCs and light terms is over and the real application now starting.
Time to really put the metal to the road, right?
Yes, yeah, okay.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, Stefan. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us here at this busy show.
Yeah, thanks to you, Alix.
And stay in track. We'll be talking to Mark Pegalou from Semtech about the LoRa and asset tracking.